Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of this podcast where we talk about winning government contracts. And in today's episode, we have Vicky and myself. We will be talking about her business. We got some exciting things lined up. We're going to try to troubleshoot her website a little bit. And then we're going to talk about how to create a capability video. Nowadays, people use videos more often than a piece of paper. So I will be sharing with Vicky how to create a capability video for her company. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome to this episode here. If you're watching live with us, absolutely adore you guys for being here live with us. If you're watching this on replay, glad you're watching this as well. You're going to learn in terms of how to build your business infrastructure while you're joining us on these live coaching sessions. And so this is not just a traditional, any type of podcaster. This is a live coaching session where we work with real companies. And in this situation, we're working with Vicky, and she's going to share a little bit about her business in a second. And we're talking about real problems that she's having, or not necessarily even problems, but the resources, the infrastructure that she needs to put together for her company so that she can win government contracts. That's what this podcast is all about. So if you're joining us again, welcome. And I see Carlos Cole. Thanks for joining us. And if you're here, let us know where you're joining us from. Put in the chat area where you're joining us. And then we also reserve a little bit of time for all of you to ask questions in this process, whether you're talking about capability statements, capability videos, capability websites. Doesn't matter if you have questions about anything that your business is working through, ask your questions in this process as well, because this time is your time as well. So with that, I see that Mr. Cole is from Birmingham, Alabama, the steel city of the South. Thanks for joining us. I'm actually working with a company, coaching them, their environmental litigation company out of Birmingham, Alabama, helping them to get some government contracts. So glad you're able to join us from there. And some of you, let us know where you're joining us from. The first part of this series, we're going to be talking about Vicky's company. And then the second part of this podcast, it's about your business. All of you who are joining us live, we want to help you with your businesses as well. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Vicky. And Vicky, can you give us a quick reminder of who you are, your business, and where you are in the government contracting process?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vicky Bang. I am the owner of Alpha Professional Services. We're a consulting firm. And our process, we have our capability statement, employee handbook, business card, website. And like Abe had mentioned today, we're having a little bit of issues with the website. So hopefully we can troubleshoot that. And I'm excited to learn more about the capability video.
All right, good. So Vicky, if you can go ahead and queue up, I'm going to do a few things before, but go ahead and get your GoDaddy site ready, your login, get all that logged in. While we're doing that there, while you're getting that ready, I'm going to go and talk about the items that we will be sharing today. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to come in here. So this is we use a tool called GovFastTrack, which is a internal tool that we developed to help members of our association and all of you who are joining us. You have access to this as well. If you want to review to see what this is all about, feel free to go to GovFastTrack.com. And you can learn more about the software that we're using to support businesses in the government market here. So, but I'm going to go to the inside of it. So this is what we've been working with Vicky in terms of her company. Every week we get together, we talk about her business. And so we've been talking about her infrastructure. So now we fine-tune her mission, vision statement, igniting limitless possibilities, and mission statement is catalyzing breakthroughs. I love these vision, mission statement for your company. Today, we're going to review, and hopefully we can connect, the domain name to the site itself. So that's one of our goals today. And we're going to work on capability videos today. So we're going to be covering these two things today. That's going to take pretty much the bulk of the show. If you don't have a capability videos, we're going to show you how and how to do it, what it is. I'm gonna, and if you're here, I'm going to give you the script to how to create a capability video for yourself, and we'll show you where you can go and get that done at a very, we're going to give you two resources: how to get done very, virtually, as affordable as possible, just a pennies really, compared to professional video services out there. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And in here, we've been talking about your brand, your image, and we've been talking about your website. And so your website's in here. If you're joining us, I'm going to put these sample websites onto the into the chat area. If you are working on your website, these are some sample websites that we've want you to model your business after. So I'm gonna put into the chat. So feel free to use that to help you build out your website to make it look and speak Governese. But with that, and then today we're going to be talking about your capability videos. But with that, I'm going to pause here. I'm going to go back to Vicky, and then we're going to see if we could fix her website. So Vicky, if you can pull up your website, share your screen, and let's see how we can address your website issues.
Alrighty.
Again, this is live, and so sometimes there's going to be a little bit of dead ear in terms of, but that's just part of the process of being a live coaching session, because this is not theories, this is not concept, this is real practical help, real practical support in terms of getting a business ready to go and win government contracts. And we've been covering a lot of stuff for the last few weeks that we've been doing this here. So, Vicky, your company's come a long way. So I'm excited, and excited to see the next few weeks of getting you more ready. And you're working on a project, and so we're actually working together on a project. So that's exciting too. All right, you got your screen up?
Yes. Can you see it?
Uh, y- yes. Let me move it to stage. Okay. Yep, I see it now. Okay, so you're on the Infinity View. Go to your GoDaddy. All right, and then
Okay.
go to you have your domain here, and then let's go to your site, your
Mm-hmm.
website, and let's see if we could, because the last thing is your connecting your domain name, right? Is that the last thing you need to do here? Okay, I see your site coming up. Vicky, you still with us? It's lagging a little bit, so I'm not sure if it's. Yeah, your GoDaddy
I'm going to
site.
close my camera and hopefully
There
that
you
will
go.
help.
Yeah. Okay, so still waiting for the site to load up.
It's never taken this long before.
Of course, because we're live for the world to see. So sometimes when you're live, the internet slows down. Why don't we do this? Why don't we
Mm-hmm.
work on your domain name offline and not live, because it's taking too long to load up, and so let's do that offline, and
Okay.
because it may take more time than what we anticipate. But once you develop your website, because she's been working on her website, and so now the last thing we need to do is we need to connect her domain name to the admin back end CMS, the content management system on the back end, so that it can be live in that regard. I was hoping that it could be very quick in that regard, but since it's taking a little bit more time, then we're going to shift gears a little bit and move on to the capability website. So with that, I'm going to share my screen. And now in the chat area, if you have your capability video, let us know. Or if you don't have it, just let us know that don't have one yet. And so I can kind of have an idea of what we're working with here, of who has it and who doesn't have it. Okay, so you guys should be able to see my screen. So let's talk about what is a capability video, and let's come in here. So we been talking about branding, right? Your capability video is an extension of your business. So first, I'm going to share with you a script. So it's right here. And for joining us, I'm going to give this script to you guys as a bonus. So for joining us live, you guys get this script here. If you don't have a capability yet, I'm going to add this here. You guys going to have this here as a free resource for you to go and create your capability video. Let me kind of go through this here, and then we're going to look at a real one in a second. So let me talk about the script first. If you haven't, I gave you a few teleprompters resource here. If you're going to be like looking at your screen and then you're going to speak, you want to, some of it you want to be you on video. Some of you are camera shy, so it could be somebody else's. You can actually hire a professional to do this here for you. We'll talk about those examples in a second. So here's the script, right? Soft music comes on. Sometimes it could be your company's music that comes on, and we're talking about maybe just a few quick seconds. And then there's a voice that comes over, and this is the script here. Every agency needs a business partner who understands their missions and needs. This is at the heart of why I founded your company here, whatever your company name is. Now, this is an example. Do not use it exactly how it is, because the contract officer said, I heard this script before, right? So tweak it a little bit, adjust it to who you are, your style, your own flavor. But this is the core message here. So there's going to be introduction, and in this introduction you will, and there's two style of capability video. One is a very personal approach, and the other is a very corporate professional approach. In this example here, this is a very personal approach to, you're trying to connect with people, so we've taken a very personal approach in this situation here. So, and I could show you two examples, one which is exactly like the script here, and one that is a more professional approach and not necessarily from a personal voice here. So the script goes, hi, my name is Abraham. I spent the last 30 years serving in the army and supporting our troops overseas. Altogether, I've dedicated 30 years of my life doing mission critical IT work for government agencies and commercial clients. And then you can kind of go into why you started your business, how you've been deployed to different places around the world, serving our nation, and then how you've been a contractor. Now, for some of you, this is not your story, right? So adapt this here to your own story. This is, this script was for a person that I helped him create this script specifically for his unique situation. And then finally, it says, I saw the challenges of what agencies were having. Now I've taken all my years of experience to start my company to be able to be an organization that you can count on. We understand the government market because we've been there in the trenches with agencies and organizations like yours. Our NAICS codes are, now when you're saying your NAICS code, you want to say our primary NAICS code is, and then for all the other NAICS code, you don't want to read through every single NAICS code. And you'll see some examples of what that looks like in a second as well. You want to say our UEI number is, it's a, 13 digit number. So say your UEI number. We have these certifications, whether it's, we have the STVSB, we have the 8A, we have the WSB certifications. If you have commercial certification, you can state that as well. And then you go into, we specialize in. Now, when you're saying we specialize in, you don't want to say 50 different things, right? You want to talk about maybe 3 core things that you're really good at. Um, and then we have these contracting vehicles. If you have them, for example, if you have GSA schedule, if you have an IDIQ contract, you can mention that. And then finally, you get into what sets us apart are these things here. And for the differentiators, you can talk about, our team has 50 years of experiences, or we have strong past performances. You could talk about we're financially sound. We have a line of credit. Um, we have these equipment, these unique software, these unique equipment. We have a bench of 20 people. What your differentiators are, mention 3 or 4 right here. And then you talk about your past performances. And then here you say we have worked with the DoD, the Army, the Air Force, Space Force, Marines. We work with EPA and so forth. And again, you don't have to list every single agency that you work with. Now, for some of you, you don't have government experience. So if you just have commercial experience, you can also speak to that in your when you're addressing your past performances here. And then here you say, our company is a small business delivering big IT solutions for government agencies and commercial clients. Your end goals are critical, and we aim to help you move your missions forward. We'll meet your needs with next generation IT infrastructure, cybersecurity, cloud requirements, telecommunication deployment, staffing solutions, employee training, program management, project management, and other IT solutions. Your challenges become our focus to ensure that your goals and objectives are achieved in a responsive and responsible and ROI centric manner. Whether it's people, hardware, or software, we make technology work for you to foster a more adaptive and competitive environment. We're ready to be your technology partner. And then you want to close out with a call to action. And then whatever your call to action is, right? And choose what that is. And then at the very end, you want to leave about 10 seconds where you have your website URL, maybe your email address, your phone number, and your UEI at the very end. And it is just a little buffer. If you end with a call to action, but without giving them enough time to see your website, your URL, your email, it ends too quick. So maybe 5 seconds, depending on how long your video is. Your video should be about 90 seconds. Maybe 2 minutes is on the long side. Between 1 minute to 2 minutes, that's the ideal video. You don't want it to go beyond that. Now, if you want to produce a 3 or 5 or 10 minute video, that's fine, but that's not your marketing. That's more of your detail capability video. I'm talking about your 90 seconds to 2 minute, video itself here. So this is the script I put in the chat. So feel free to use it to help you. Now let's look at some examples. So I'm gonna go to the first iteration. This is a company that actually created the capability. This is the first iteration. It needs to be finalized, but you can kind of see the first iteration of it here. So if you come in here, this is the capability video. So he has it on his website. So so his website is here. It talks about who he is, what he's, the type of work that they can do. But in the government tab, you can see, you click on the government tab, you can see that his capability video is here. So I'm going to go ahead and play his capability video and let me know if you guys can hear the audio and so forth. Can you guys hear the audio? If you're listening, let me know if you can hear the audio.
I can't hear anything.
You can't hear the audio?
No.
No? Okay, so what I'll do is, not sure why. Let me see. Let me see if I can adjust the. It talks about. No, not the audio. Let me go to audio. Reduce background noise, stereo audio, automatically adjust mic. Nope, it does not. Um, yeah, it doesn't allow me to adjust. So what I'll do is this here. I'm gonna put this link into the chat, and you guys can watch the video on your own. Um, but so you can kind of see that addresses it, in this here about almost 2 minutes here. Let's look at another example. Let's see if this will play here. So this is a 2 minute video. And Vicky, if you could let me know whether it's playing or whether you can hear the audio or not. So
Alrighty. Still can't hear that one.
can you hear the audio?
No.
No, I paused it, but not sure why. We're using. I am unsure why it is not. I hear on my end, but let me go back to audio. Yeah, I see it, but I'm gonna. I'm not sure why it's not showing coming. The audio is coming through and sharing my screen. It may be a setting on StreamYard that is not permitting that there. What I will do is I will put this video sample into the chat, and I will play and speak to a few things in here. So you guys get the idea. So it meets all of the key things. And really, what a capability video is, it takes your capability statement and turns it into a video. That's really what it is. And many of you are familiar with what a capability statement is. You've just never done a capability video. And so if you don't have one, I'm going to put this here into the chat as an example, and use that to model. There's one other capability video that uh, I can use as an example also. So this is Crystal's company, and she's got her capability video in here. So, and you guys can kind of use this here as an example. I don't know if she has audio though. Let me see. Yeah, she doesn't have audio. She used to have audio, so I think this is her version 2, and she hasn't added audio yet. But it's still an example of what you can do. So these are 3 example capable videos. Now let's talk about how do you create one, right? You can create it yourself. This is what Crystal did here. Or I would prefer you get it professionally done, because this is your brand. This is your first exposure of someone seeing you and your company. So you want to use this here to support yourself, and so make it look nice and clean. So the first resource is, you can use this resource here, capabilityvideos.com, and they will do it for you. This company, they specialize in creating capability videos. So I'm gonna put this in the chat, and you can use them because that's what they do. They help create capability videos. So use this here. The other, this is, a little bit, it's not very expensive, but it's a little bit on the, the price is a little bit higher for some of you. So if you come in here and let's see what the 90-second is. So it's 399. So it's still very affordable. But if you're saying, okay, hey, my budget is tight, then the way you get it for a lot more lower price is to use Fiverr. Now, Fiverr, they're not specialists in terms of creating capability videos. So you have to really guide them in terms of how to do it. So if you come in here and you come in here and just put in here 90-second video, you can find a lot of good resources in here in terms of people that can create videos for, typically it says from $40. And so I will create an amazing promotional video. So for $25. So let's assume this lady here. So we come in here, Mary Jane, she will do a highly engaging video, and video is 15 to 30 seconds, up to 60 seconds. According to given script, you can present us your idea, help you to make a great script. So the standard gig, this is really your premium gig, is really what you want, is that 90-second. And then if you come down here, then you have to choose the premium gig here. So premium gig is $142, which is still very affordable for 90-second video, and she will get it to you in 6 days. Now, what I can do to help some of you, if you are here watching this here with us, if you write your script and before you send it to them to review it, watch the videos samples I gave you. If you want me to do a quick review of your capability video script, send it to me by email. I will put my email in the chat. It's info@govcontractors.org. And send me your capability. Your subject line is help review capability video script, something like that will allow me to know exactly what it is. I'll review it, give you some feedback in terms of what you need to do to adjust to your capability video. And then once it's reviewed, then hire somebody to create it for you. And again, you can use Fiverr, which is anywhere from 40, $50 to about $200 ish. It will give you a great video, and then use it to market. And the reason is this here: back in 2013, 2014, there was a flip. I call it the flippening. Flippening happened in the sense that more people access the internet from a cell phone or tablet than a laptop or desktop now. And so if you're sending a capability statement, it's too, they have to pinch, squeeze, and they have to, because the real estate on a cell phone or a tablet is really very small. It's easier if you send them your capability statement and your capability video, because now all they have to do is hit the play button. Now, when you're doing the way you send your capability video is send it through, make sure you upload it to YouTube, because YouTube is a trusted resource. If you're hosting the video yourself, most people will not trust a link. But if it's a YouTube link, everybody trusts YouTube. That YouTube they've got strong cyber. They're not just going to put any malicious link. And so if you're using a YouTube link, they will trust that and they will click on play. So this is your capability video. And so with that, let's go ahead and see if you have questions. So Vicky, your homework assignment is to create a capability script. So I'm going to put in here, work on your capability script, and then I will review it. You don't have to choose who is going to do your video yet, but just choose who, write out your script for now. And again, your script is up here. Capability video script is up here. So if you come to row 436 in here, and I'll make a note in here, C row 436 plus. Oh, 4, right? Not 1. That's it. Yep.
I do have a question for you.
Sure.
Excuse me. Would you use an AI voice to do a capability video?
He did, but it's not as strong. If you're using Fiverr, they will actually do the professional voice over for you. And so most of them will do the AI voice. Now, let me show you what she did, right? So Tally Global, her person that created this video, they clone her voice. And so if you're watching this, it sounds like she did the video itself, but they clone her voice using AI to clone her voice. And so if you when you guys go watch this here, it's actually her voice. So the Fiverr, she used Fiverr for hers. They clone her voice, and there's a lot of great tools out there. Play. So this is there's a lot of great voice cloning services out there. I use this one here, but if you come in here and you play around, there's actually some great. Let me see here. There's actually, where is it? No, that's not what I'm looking for. You can actually come in here and they actually, can clone they've cloned a lot of celebrities' voices, but use your own voice. Because some of you may I don't like my voice, but if you read a script like 2 sentences, the AI will take your voice and create it. So yeah, maybe you can do that, but Vicky, your voice is fine. You should just read the script yourself, and um, AI is getting to be where it's very good. But Vicky, just do your own voice, and I think it'll be fine. I don't like my own voice, so typically I have my in-house over. Via, she has a professional voiceover, and so she does a lot of the voiceover for us. But yeah, just try yourself, see how it goes. And if not, use a voice cloner like Play HT, and uh, we actually use Play HT to, I share with you guys that I'm working on my book, and we're doing the audio book right now, and so I use Play HT to do the whole audible or the whole audio version of the book itself. And it's affordable because I can pay a real person and it's going to cost me probably 1,000 or more, or I can use AI and it costs me, 100, $200. So AI is fine, but make sure that it sounds like a real person. Other questions? So if you're joining us, let
Nope.
me know if you have a capability video. If not, use the resources that I've given you guys. You can use the this service here. You can use Fiverr. You can use the capabilityvideos.com itself, because this is what they specialize in. So less work on you because that's what they do day in, day out. Okay, so let's open up for any other questions. Anybody have any other type of questions that you want to ask about contracting itself? Anything that you guys are working on that you're stuck on? Vicky, you have any questions you have, related to any other items that you're working on getting your business ready?
I really don't have too many questions other than getting my website up and running. It was actually up and running before we started our project.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, so that's
I'm
going to
not
be
sure what's going
critical.
on.
Yep. All right. I think Mr. Cole says, I'm having a problem learning how to feel fill out solicitations. So one of the questions that came in is, how do you, I guess, fill out solicitation, meaning how do you find opportunities and how do you understand to see if it's a match for your business? I guess that's what he's asking here. So we can kind of address his. We've got Henry. He is with Blue Dog Private Security Contractor out of Chicago, Illinois. Thanks for joining us, Henry. And so let me address, how do you find opportunities? And then how do you see if it's a good match for you or not? So let me kind of give you some general tips. So I'm going to share my screen here and I'm going to give you some general tip in terms of how to find opportunities and how to see if it's a fit for your companies. And so I'm going to pull up a general notes chart here and let me share. So Vicky, you've been at this here for a few months now. This is your second go around. You tried this here a few years back, and then you didn't get far, and so now you say, "Hey, Abe, let me get some help through navigating through this here." So what would you say if you have to say, how would you go about finding opportunity and seeing if it's a fit for your business? I'd like to hear your thoughts, and then I'm gonna share my thoughts with everybody.
So when I started about 5 years ago, I was actually a general contractor. Um, I did get my certifications, and I don't even know at that time if they were state certification or federal. I know I did have the MBE, the WBE, and I live in the state of Minnesota, so I did get my cert certification. once I received that, and then I signed myself up as a vendor with the state, I started receiving all of these bids for construction. And I had no idea how to read the bids because they were 950 to 1,500
Whew.
pages. And I'm like, okay, I have no clue. So I did go to one of the training sessions, and that's when I learned about capability statement and how I need to change the business card. And that's as far as I had gone. And when I picked it up again in January, I believe, and I saw your videos, I'm like, that sounds really familiar. So that's when I had reached out.
Hmm. Yeah, well, I'm glad you found us. You found us online. So, and today we're coaching your business in terms of getting it move faster. All right, so
Yes.
let's address how do you find bids. Now, we already created the resource in here, but I'm just going to put notes in here, right? So when in the GovFastTrack software, govfasttrack.com, you can come in here and you say how to find contract opportunities, right? So it's down here. There's three types of opportunities: how to find past awards, how to find current opportunities, and how to find future opportunities, which is called forecast. For simplicity, we're gonna come back and do a deeper dive in how to find opportunities in the future. But this is answering one of the questions that Mr. Cole talked about here. So, how to find current opportunities. There's a few resources, right? GovGenie.com, SAN.gov. There's lots of different tools in here. I'm gonna put these into the chat, and and you can use this here to kind of help you. So, how to find opportunities. I think I did. Okay, here it is. So these are the resources you want to use. I'm going to go and use GovGenie as an example of how to find opportunities using GovGenie. GovGenie is a tool that we developed to help you guys. So if you come in here, you can set it up. There's, it's free to get started on it. So feel free to set up your free account. I'm going to come in here and use it to demo. So once I'm in here, I click on opportunities, and I can put in here a NICS code. I'm gonna put in here 236220. This is a construction NICS code. I'm gonna hit apply. So I see lots of opportunities. Here's one: construction maintenance facility, open market, small business set aside, building modification. If I like any of these here, I can click on it and replace scorecards, scoreboards. I have no idea, but let's assume I'm interested in this one here. I click on this here, it takes me to the inside of it. Let me make sure I'm on my, yep. So if I like this project and I'm interested in learning more, I can look at the attachment. But first, I'm going to add it to my bid board. So I click on this and add it to the bid board. Once I add it to my bid board, it comes into my board here, evaluating swim lanes. So it's down here, right? I just added it's here. And if I click on it, it takes me to the inside of this opportunity. So that's the first thing in terms of finding opportunity. We're going to do a deep dive into finding past awards, current opportunities, and forecasted future opportunities in another session with Vicky. But today, just want to kind of quickly show you how to do that. But the next question is, how do I determine to see if this is a good fit for my business or not? So the key things you want to consider. The first thing I do is I look at the due date. So let me make a few notes here so that visually I'm speaking, but you can follow, because some of us are auditory learners and some of us visual learners, and some of us we just don't like to learn at all. But all of you, that's not you, right? You guys are here, so you love learning. So the first thing I consider, if this is a good fit for me, the first thing I do is I look at the due date. That's the first thing. So for this project here, when is the due date? The due date is June 7th, and today I've got about almost a month. So So that's the first consideration. I have enough time? Yes. Then the second thing is I want to look at what's called the section C, section L, section M. Now, section C is the statement of work, SOW or the PWS. I want to read through the statement of work or the performance work statement to see if this is a good match for me. So if I'm coming back to my project, I click on the opportunity here and I go inside the card, and my expand this here, go inside the card itself, or in this bid project itself. And I want to look at the links to the opportunities. That one's not pulling up. Let me see here. Okay, for some reason these links are broken. So I'm gonna go directly to the source. So in GovGenie, the link to where this project came from is right here. So I'm gonna go directly to the source. And the links are still pulling up. So it's not showing me the link. So maybe that's why the links are broken. Let me see if I can find another opportunity. Let me just use another opportunity in here. See if these links are, because that's really my goal, right? So this is a forecast here. I don't necessarily want a forecast. I want a live opportunity that I can actually do something with. So these are all forecasts. Okay, so this is not a forecast here. Maybe the links are not showing up. Let me see. Yeah, so something's happening with the links in sam.gov, and so it's not pulling up. But I do have a old document. So let me go pull up an old document here as an example. So I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna go look at an old solicitation and show you guys what I mean by three sections you want to look at, right? Proposals, G dot training. Nope, that doesn't have the full solicitation. That's the proposal. Let me find the okay. Nope. Proposal project. Come on, let me find a project here. Okay, so here's one. Okay, so I want to look at the solicitation document. So this is an example. So when you find an opportunity, you're going to see the solicitation number. This one has 52 pages. And the first form here, this is what's called the standard form 33. Now, I said earlier that the first thing you want to do before you do anything is the due date. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to look at the statement of work, section C. And then you want to read through section C to see if this is the type of work you can do. Now, you see we skip through a lot of pages to go to section C. So I'm reading through section C to see if I can do this type of work. So it says they manage approximately 150 people, and this is the office that is doing this here. They have users on their platform, 100,000 users on there, 44,000 vaccine provider locations. So what they're asking for is they asking for a solution that they call VTrax that's going to manage their vendors and that's going to manage 100,000 users on this platform here. So CDC has 150 people using it, and then they've got 800 people plus 100,000 users, and then 44,000 providers, all going to use this software tool here. So my question is, okay, can I do this type of work? Can I come in here and they want it to be developed in SAP, which is an enterprise resource planning software. So that's the question. They're telling me what they're looking for in the scope here. My question is, can I do this type of work? And if the answer is yes, then I go to the next, right? Remember, I share with you that there's a few documents that a few sections that you want to look at. The first one is the scope of work. So now I'm reading through the scope of work. Yes, I can do that. Then the next section is section M. The evaluation factors. So I skipped all the way to page 51. And the evaluation is this here. How they're going to determine who they're going to award this based on two factors. Your technical approach, which is 50% of how they're going to judge, and then your experience as an organization. Your experience is typically tied to your management team and your past performance. So they're saying 50% of how they're going to decide who the winner is going to be based upon experience and your technical approach. So that's section M. Then I'm going to look at section L. So section L. Section L is the instructions and conditions, and what is it that they're going to be, what are the requirements? So if I'm looking through this here, section L says, this is going to be for 8A companies, right? And so, Mr. Cole, your question is, how do I know if it's a fit? Well, if I'm not 8A certified, then I'm not going to bid on this here. Or I need to find an 8A teaming partner. So I skipped through a whole bunch of there's 52 pages. I looked at section C, I looked at section M, which is only one page, and I'm looking at section L, which is a few pages here. So now it says, okay, I need an 8A teaming partner since I'm not 8A certified. So now I know exactly what I'm going to look for, right? And then I skipped through a few things here to see what might be important to me. And not everything in section L is important. I'm just skipping through to see what in here is important to me. And there's some FAR clauses. Your technical proposal, right? So it says, I need to have a technical proposal. So this is important. So in my proposal response, I need to have a section that says technical proposal. And I need to address my technical approach, my quality assurance, conflict resolution, experiences, and my key personnel, corporate capabilities. And then as I'm addressing each specific component here, I'm thinking, do I have these things here? And if I don't have it, then I'm not going to submit a proposal. If I do have it, then I will plan to submit a proposal. If I don't have it, but if I need subcontractors, then I need to find some subcontractors to help me with this. So in the future, we're going to actually take you through how to write a proposal. We'll take you through how to actually respond and go into a deeper dive into this here. But for a short question, I've actually spent about 10-15 minutes answering a very short question. So let's continue here. I think there was another question in here. Can you describe when you would use a service agreement versus a subcontractor agreement? That's a very good question. Let me exit out of here and let me come back to, let's see, yep, here. And so, wrong one. So when would I use a service agreement versus a subcontractor agreement? The question is, first, let me define a service agreement versus a subcontractor agreement and in what situation you use what. There's 5 agreements that you will need. In the Gov Fast Track software, we already put these templates and resources here. So I'm going to quickly share with you guys what are the 5 agreements that you need, and then I will define the difference between the two. Okay. Oh. So the 5 agreements you need are this here. First, you need a non-disclosure. Then you need a general team agreement. Then you need a specific team agreement. And then you might need you need the contract itself with the agency, and then you might need a subcontract agreement. So the question is, how do you determine whether you need a subcontract agreement or you just need a service agreement? Subcontractor agreements has to do with who is the nature of the relationship between two parties. Just a caveat, I am not an attorney, so I'm going to speak this here from a layman's perspective and not necessarily from a legal perspective. So this is for training purposes only, because we are going live and I'm sharing with you my opinion about legal documents. So this is not legal advice here, just a little disclaimer. Service agreement, and this is used between two parties, right? And in a service agreement, if you are, let me give you examples of a service agreement. So service agreement is, there could be a reseller agreement, right? If you are reselling computer goods, if you're reselling furniture, if you're reselling something, you are retailing it and you're buying it from a wholesaler or from a manufacturer, and they may have a reseller agreement with you. They may have a distributor agreement with you. So these are different types of agreements. That in the distributor agreement, it will say that they will sell you a office desk for $1,000, and the retail price is $3,000. So you can mark it up however amount you want, or higher than the retail suggested price, and you can sell it to the government or to anybody you want. So that's a service type of agreement. There's many variation of a service agreement that you can have out there. Now, talking about a subcontract agreement, a subcontract agreement is a specific type of service agreement. And so a subcontract agreement says that I won a contract and I'm bringing your company on as a subcontractor to this project. So what does that mean? The prime won the contract and they need, right? They need a sub. And so in this situation, whoever is the prime, they won the contract and they need a subcontractor. That's why there's a subcontract agreement. Outside of that, you don't need a subcontract agreement. A subcontract agreement means that somebody won the contract and they need someone to do the subcontracting work. So that's what that means. Now, you can use a subcontractor. Subcontractor is used quite a bit between teaming partners. One is the prime, one is the sub, and you have a teaming agreement, and then you also have a subcontract agreement to do the work. But in the future, we're actually going to go to in great detail how to set up a teaming partnership, when to use a subcontract agreement, when to use a teaming agreement. All that is already in here, and right now, in terms of helping Vicky with their company, we are still in the promotion phase, right? The proposal phase is way further down. This is step number 650. And right now we are in the step 400. Excuse me. So we are step in 400. So we will get to that in the future. So with that, we are close to the end here. So let's see if we have any final comments. So Rayshawn says, please visit our YouTube channel to watch the recording. Oh, that's a comment that was being made by our host, our producer here. Okay, so I think that is all the questions that we have. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen here, and we're gonna wrap it up here with a few quick comments, and then we'll close it out here. So, Vicky, did that give you a lot of insights in terms of capability videos and the different type of agreements you need to use? Any thoughts from you before we wrap up?
Yep, it was very good information that I could take and start on the capability video. The information that you gave there, I'm hoping that it does help somebody out there because it was very helpful for me, especially going into the government contract arena.
Yeah, you have to speak to your audience, right? If you use, most people use a traditional infomercial, right? Like a 90-second infomercial about their company, but it doesn't speak to government. And so you have to use a capability video to speak to your audience. And the templates are there. If you're watching this on replay, reach out to us if you want a copy of it, of the capability video script. And if you're watching it live with us, thanks for joining us. And so with Vicky, myself, we are signing off for this episode of Win Government Contract Podcast, and we will see you next week. What time? 11:30 Eastern every Wednesday. We will be doing our coaching sessions. So we cover a new topic every single week. We also do a little refresh of what we covered the last week. And then we're going to keep on going until Vicky is ready to win some government contracts. So with that, signing off. See everybody next week. And remember, you are one contract away from your goals, your dreams, from the next car that you want, from the house that you want, from the vacation that you deserve. One contract away. And we will see you then. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.